What's up everyone? In today's video we're going to make a second chance antique sign which was hung over the front entrance of the antique store in Toy Story 4. And I'll also be making a second one for the real life antique store that inspired Second Chance Antiques for them to hang over their front entrance just like in the movie. I'm going to show you how I made these step by step and then we'll go deliver one to the antique store and display it out front for them. So let's get into today's video. Welcome back everyone. Here we have my Second Chance Antique sign that I've made. I cut this out of wood and then I airbrushed all of the details on it. I know normally I do 3D printing stuff, but I wanted to make this as accurate and as authentic as possible. So I wanted to make sure I cut out a wood and make sure it was actually painted on there. Honestly, it's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this project. Like most of the stuff I do is with a 3D printer, so it's always fun to kind of branch outside of that and do something a little different. Speaking of which, this is actually version 2. I was going to help Marche Emporium, which is the antique store that was inspired Toy Story 4, film some stuff a couple months ago. When I was prepping the day before to go help them out, I was preparing a bunch of video clips of the movie and I realized how prevalent this sign was out front of the store. It's in every exterior shot basically. It was only the day before when I came up with this idea, so I knew it wouldn't really be possible to get a nice wooden painted version out and done by then, so I decided to do a quick and dirty 3D printed version. Hi baby, are you here to help? It was only the day before I was supposed to go help them, so I knew I wouldn't be able to make a nice wooden painted version and have it all dry for when I went down there. So I did a quick and dirty 3D printed version, knowing I could reuse that graphic that I designed for a better version later on. I'd be able to quickly put that into a CAD program and then 3D print it, so I would be able to handle so I'd be able to make a sign, just any sign for them, quick enough the next day. Later on, when I'd have time to make a nice version, I would be able to send that same image to my Cricut to cut out a vinyl stencil to paint this wooden version and maintain all those intricate details. Here's a look at the 3D printed version. As you can see, the design is exactly the same and accurate, but it doesn't have quite the same character as the wooden version does. To design the graphic, I just drew it on the computer and then I formatted it so it could be used on a 3D printer or sent over to the vinyl cutter. Here we have my printed sign. The model looks great. Again, this is the same graphic I ended up using, but you could tell the texture is wrong. Since it's so large, I had to print it in 3 pieces, so there's 2 seams. The lettering is raised and the surface finish just looks plasticky, and you can tell it's just not a wooden sign. It's not exactly the same. I knew we could do better. So this was always going to be a temporary sign that I could recycle into this project. So what I did was I took that same exact graphic, I had it printed out of my Cricut vinyl cutter. I did that to make a stencil, so now I can airbrush it and we can keep those same crisp lines that we had from the printed version, but we can make it out of paint on a wooden sign. So I'm just peeling apart my stencil right now so then get it prepped, so then when we're painting I can just transfer over that stencil real quick and easily. Now that those are prepared, we're gonna go cut out our sign. I printed out the sign real quick in one color just to have a workable stencil. It would just be easier to have something hard to trace it. Now that we've got our signs drawn on the board, we can go ahead and cut them out and sand around the edges and get our nice finish. And here's the finished result. We've got 2 cleanly cut signs. We're gonna need to primer them, and just did that in white real quick. And then I'm gonna lay down just a yellow base coat, and then we'll start stenciling things off with our vinyl we cut out. Now that the yellow's on there, we're gonna mask off the lettering because that's what we're keeping yellow, or one of the things we're keeping yellow. And now that that's masked off, we can go ahead and paint it over with red so we can get the red background on there. I peeled that back off and now you can see that came out really well. All our lines and lettering's really crisp and clean. Now the next step is going to be the black, so I'm going to put our hand stencil over the hand part, and then I'm just going to mask off the red and yellow writing with just blue tape to make that rectangle, and then we'll just go over it with black. We're just repeating that process over and over and peeling those stencils back off. You can see everything came out pretty perfectly. Now we'll just go ahead and clear coat that. Since one of these is going to be sitting outdoors, we don't want it to fade. It'll be okay if it fades some, and it will actually be kind of welcomed because in the movie it is faded. But I didn't want to start off with a faded sign, because then, like, I don't know, after a year or two it could be super faded. So we'll kind of like want to over saturate it with color and then let it kind of grow into the faded look, just to give it some more longevity. Now that we've got our sign done, we can go ahead and deliver it to the antique store. So let's head over there. So that's gonna do it for this video. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It was nice to, it was pretty straightforward. It wasn't too complicated, but it was nice to like have a project just go right from the start and not really encounter any issues. I need your guys' help. I really want to continue to grow this channel so I can continue to make more unique and elaborate props. To do versions of these characters or props from the movies that other people haven't made or maybe made fully functioning versions of. It won't happen without everybody's support, so if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and make sure to like this video so I can keep bringing everybody some cool and unique content. Stuff like my Zergbot right here is really what I want my North Star to be for this channel. Fully articulated, fully functioning, with it has electronics or sounds, whatever it is, like props. Like, I want to make the characters fully realized. Stuff like my, if you're a Star Wars fan, my DJ Rex from Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland and Disney World is like probably the most elaborate thing I've made. It's got sounds, lights, it's full animatronics, so that's the kind of like stuff I want to be making here going forward. I'm already working on 2 new toys that you'll see videos of for next month. One is a mod of they're both mods-ish. One's a mod for an existing toy, but I'm gonna make it way more accurate and functioning than it was. And the other thing I'll be doing is creating another new version of something else I've already made in the past. All right, thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.